That's the Semtex. And that must be the control unit.
Raiden, what's wrong? Raiden! Raiden!
Raiden, I found us a ride.
I'm all ears.
One of the enemy's Kasatkas.
Is it in good shape?
Full tank. I'm heading for Shell 1 now. What about that Harrier?
It's not on the heliport here.
Good. I'll set this one down there then.
Can you cover the hostages? They're being held on level B1 in the core. Pliskin, you didn't happen to find any other places where hostages were being held, did you?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
How many hostages are there?
There's a few short of 30. One dead and several wounded.
The Kasatka's cargo area will hold 13 max.
What about the other Kasatka?
I sabotaged it. It can't come after us if it can't get off the ground. We'll have to make 2 trips.
Can you fly a Kasatka?
I have a pilot who's flown the civilian model, the KA-62 in VR. There's not a whole lot of difference between the military KA-60 and the civilian model.
Cleared for takeoff.
Raiden, let me introduce you to my partner, Otacon.
Otacon?
Hey, Raiden. Nice to meet you.
Intruders! Over here! Damn! Raiden, I'll talk to you later.
Colonel, I need some answers from you. Who exactly is Pliskin and his partner?
I know what you're thinking.
It keeps coming back to Shadow Moses. And now this Otacon.
AKA Hal Emmerich, PhD, a Shadow Moses survivor.
Rose?
Snake and Otacon both became fugitives after Shadow Moses, wanted for acts of terrorism.
An anti-Metal Gear organization.
They sabotaged and destroyed countless Metal Gear units throughout the world.
And were responsible for the incident 2 years ago that necessitated the construction of the Big Shell.
Snake and his partner aren't terrorists.
Jack, why are you defending them?
I look back on what I've done here so far, and things like training and sense of duty alone won't get you through a sneaking mission like this.
Jack, are you okay?
You need something higher. I can't think of the right word, but it has to be pure will, backed up by courage, or ideals, or something like that. I'd stake my life on it. The solid Snake that saved Shadow Moses couldn't turn into a terrorist.
Maybe that's true, but they went down with that tanker 2 years ago. We even recovered Snake's body.
And the DNA test results on the body say it's him.
Jack, I know what you're saying, but Snake is dead. He can't be here, not even as this Dr. Hal Emmerich.
But that also means that he can't be the terrorist leader behind this thing.
I've been waiting for you. A messenger from the Patriots. Where do I know him from?
So you're the boss around here?
No, not just around here. I'm the boss to surpass Big Boss himself. Solid Snake.
No! That is not Solid Snake!
What a pleasant surprise, brother.
Save it. You work of mine.
Don't say you've forgotten me, Snake.
Snake?
Right, take cover. Stop impersonating him.
Brother, I'm a whole different game from Liquid. That the best you can do, Snake?
Did I get it? We're in trouble. It's the Harrier.
The world needs only one big boss. I'll drown you fools for interfering.
This is the Stinger missile launcher. The Kasaka can't stand up to the Harrier. You have to shoot the Harrier down.
Snake, we got company.
I'm counting on you.
Use this! Right, I'll take care of it. Is that the best you can do? You're tougher than I thought.
Right. Handguns and machine guns can't stand up to fighter jets. Use the Stinger missiles instead. Don't panic, even if you lose sight of the Harrier. Look at your radar. The radar has been modified to show where the Harrier is. Use the radar and locate the Harrier's position.
Right. I'll back you up from the chopper. If I see you run short of an item, I'll toss it down. Make good use of those. Right. You've got those stingers I gave you earlier, right?
Portable anti-aircraft missiles? I had complete VR training in those too.
Oh, gee, I feel so much better knowing that. Hopefully you'll know how to use them in actual battle conditions, too. Shoot the Harrier down with your Stinger missile, but remember that while you're aiming the missile launcher, you won't be able to move around. As soon as you see the Harrier headed your way, find cover. Hit the weapon menu button to do a weapon quick change. Make use of it.
I'll let you go out in style! best he can do.
I'll take care of it. What the? I'll let you go out in style! You bastard! Damn! What the? Try dodging this!
The Harrier II is an upgraded version of the world's first practical V-stall fighter plane. By shifting the propulsion of the engine nozzles on the sides, the plane can handle short-distance vertical takeoffs and landings. The payload capacity of the Harrier II is considerably larger than its predecessor due to improved engine output. As a result, it carries more armament, starting with a 25mm machine gun pod on the fuselage pylon. There are air-to-surface rockets on both wings and various pods for air-to-air missiles and cluster bombs. You won't be able to take out one of these with small arms fire. The fact is, you'll need to use Stinger missiles.
Don't start scurrying about even after the Harrier is flown away and is no longer in eyesight. When the Harrier is pointed in your direction, it should flash for a moment as it reflects the sun. Don't miss that flash. Locate it as early as possible and hit it with a Stinger. If you delay, you'll be attacked.
There's something coming up.
That's Metal Gear! It's already active!
They got my eye! Fab! Go! Ha!
What's that? It's running on water. Raiden, you all right?
Yeah. How about you guys?
Barely managed, but we're all right.
The chopper?
We need some time for repairs.
Oh.
The president's all yours.
Okay. Can I ask you something?
What?
Are you the Snake? They said you were dead.
No, not me. There are still too many things I need to do.
Snake, you're a legend, and that's why I need to ask you this.
Legend? A legend is nothing but fiction. Someone tells it, someone else remembers. Everybody passes it on.
I'm here because I was assigned to this mission, not because I want to. If I could, I'd be out of here in a second. How could you come back to all this? Why keep fighting?
There's something my best friend said to me once.
What?
We're not tools of the government or anyone else. Fighting was the only thing I was good at, but at least I always fought for what I believed in.
What about the DNA results from that body?
That was Liquid's body. He and Snake are identical on the genetic level.
Liquid?
A deception, for our own protection. We stole his frozen body from some organization. Kind of a hassle, though.
That's all there is to it.
Are you two really an NGO?
Insofar as we're a non-profit organization of civilians advocating a cause, yes. The cause happens to be the eradication of Metal Gear.
We work on our own, but it's a cause worth fighting for.
Why would you stick your neck out for something this risky?
That's the way I used to look at it, 4 years ago. I was holed up in the middle of nowhere in Alaska, drinking too much.
We have a responsibility to the coming generations, to the world,
What responsibility?
to keep track of the mistakes we've made as a species.
We need to remember, to spread the word, to fight for change, and that's what keeps me alive.
You think you can change the future?
Nah, I'm not as arrogant as that.
What you do isn't grassroots activism. It's more like terrorism.
I admit that.
But our group, Philanthropy, received some information. A new Metal Gear prototype was being developed here, and terrorists were planning to raid the facility. The information came from a very reliable source.
So you're here to...
We're here to stop all that. But I also have a personal motive.
Looks like the terrorists have his sister in the big shell. We're here on our own, not under anyone's orders. We have our own battles. Otacon's here for someone. I'm not.
This is a military mission.
Jack, are you all right?
Just barely.
You almost gave me a heart attack.
Sorry, it wasn't intentional.
I know that, and I know I need to stay stronger.
Say a prayer for me, Rose, so I can come back.
You will make it back. I'm with you all the way, remember.
That means a lot to me, you know.
I'm going to save the data, okay, Jack?
Colonel, Metal Gear's already gone active.
It's not too late. You can still prevent a nuclear strike by securing the president and preventing password confirmation from taking place. Get to the president. He's in the core section of Shell 2.
I'm checking the satellite images. Looks like you can get to the core from the other side of Strut L.
The core hasn't gone under yet from what we can tell. Follow the railings down, then jump onto the pipes.
The only viable strut in the outer perimeter is the L. That attack just now doesn't make any sense. It's like they have no more use for this place.
Colonel, you were monitoring the codec calls. That man was the real Snake all along.
Maybe.
Maybe?
Don't let your guard down with him.
Why do you say that?
Because they were never a part of the simulation. They're an unknown factor.
You can take your simulation and... We're out here, we bleed, we die.
Calm down.
I suggest that you do, Raiden.
Whatever.
Even if that is Snake. That has no bearing on your mission.
Colonel, you and Snake used to be on the same side. I don't understand. I read about you and Snake in the Darkness of Shadow Moses.
I don't give a damn what that piece of trash said. Do you get me?
Raiden, you cover the president. Make contact with him before the confirmation of the nuclear launch code. We're going to start repairs on the Kamov. That should keep our hands full for a while. I did a round of Shell 2 during bomb disposal. Let me know if you have any questions.
Jack, what's going on? Answer me! Jack? Jack!
The enemy has already entered the nuclear launch code. Secure the President before they can confirm and finalize the code input. The President is on the first floor of Shell 2's core.
This is not a pretty sight. Hurry up and check the situation.
Raiden, you're currently on Strut L. Move north along its exterior to get to the KL connecting bridge.
You'll be able to get to the core of Shell 2 from the center of the KL connecting bridge. The President is being held in the core.
Oh, I'm going to go in my pants. Nobody's looking, right?
Right, my sympathies. Sneaking missions are called wet works for a reason after all.
Don't worry about it, Jack. It's okay.
Rose?
That is, as long as you take a shower the second you get back. Do we have a deal?
You're a real egotistical woman.
Raiden, you cover the President.
Right. I don't see a way into Strut K, but there's no need for you to check it out in any case. Head for the core of Shell 2, where the President is.
Olga, Snake, he's here. In Shell 1.
My father had some unfinished business with him.
Olga, calm yourself. Personal feelings.
Then screw your plan. I've been waiting for this day for 2 years, and I will send him to the bottom of the ocean, right next to my old man.
The launch comes first.
Damn it. Where's Ocelot?
Not here.
I don't trust him.
Don't talk that way about one of your own.
He's not one of my own. He left my father to die, remember?
Olga, we'll talk later. We need to get started on the final checks for the unit.
All right. I'm headed back there.
The upper connecting bridge to Shell 1 is down.
What about the chopper?
The cam-off is out of action. Take the oil fence from strut L.
I'll tell my men to start pulling out.
Not yet. Their retrieval comes last. The intruder's still at large.
Snake.
What about the other man?
He's got luck on his side, certainly.
He survived that explosion. Listen, Olga, the code confirmation is in 1 hour. Keep the President alive until then.
I know. No one gets in here. Turn the currents on.
Of course. High voltage currents on.
The door stays shut unless the President manages to take out that circuit panel from inside the room. And it's no job for bare hands.
All right. Come back immediately.
One more thing.
What?
We leave for Russia when this business is done. I want half the money for that.
Of course. That was part of the agreement.
We start living for ourselves after this. If there's anyone who wants to stay here, I want you to take good care of them.
Gladly. Gerlukovich soldiers are the cream of the crop.
It's time they went free.
What happened to rebuilding Mother Russia?
The old man is dead. The world is a different place now.
It's your life.
Just as a reminder, I'm going to say this again, one last time. Don't try anything on us.
The feeling is mutual.
I'm in front of the room where they're keeping the President.
Everything all right?
No sign of flooding, but I can't get close to the door. The floor is electrified.
Don't test it. You'll be bacon.
Any suggestions?
Remember the Shadow Moses VR training.
Take out the circuit panel?
Right.
But there's no way into the room.
Try ventilation ducts.
Yeah, I think I see one.
Look for a remote control missile launcher. You can guide it through the duct into the room.
Then target the circuit panel. Got it.
Right, but make sure you don't hit the President.
The President is wired with nanomachines. If we know the frequency, I can raise him.
We've tried that repeatedly, but there's no response. It looks like the walls have a built-in radio shield.
So that's why Ames lost contact with him.
If you need to confirm his position, you can log into the node.
Understood.
Locate a remote control missile launcher first.
Snake, do you know where I can find some remote-controlled missiles?
Remote-controlled missiles. I saw something on B1 in the core of Shell 2. But be careful. Contaminated seawater's broken out of the tanks thanks to that explosion. Most of B1 is probably flooded by now.
Jack, is that you? You know, Jack, there's something that bugs me sometimes.
What?
Why are you going out with me?
Huh?
Is it because I'm beautiful?
Why are you asking me this all of a sudden? And where do you get off calling yourself beautiful?
Well, it's the truth, plain and simple. I'm too smart not to realize it and not sarcastic enough to be modest about it.
Is that so? Well then, your schedule must be booked solid with dates.
You bet. I've even hired a private secretary to deal with all of them. But she cancels all of my appointments except for yours.
Ooh.
Sometimes it really does bother me. Sometimes I think all you want is a pretty face to accompany you to parties.
What are you...
Just to make everyone jealous when they see you with me.
You're being ridiculous.
Oh, really? But you never talk about yourself. I never know whether it's really me you want by your side, whether you'd ditch me if you found someone prettier.
You know that's not true.
Really? Then would you still go out with me even if I weren't beautiful?
Of course.
Do you like me for me, or is it my reputation?
Do you really think anyone would say your reputation? I'm just joking. Of course I like you for you. Honest truth.
Really? Thank you.
The cardboard box that you have is ideal for fooling your enemies. It's a very important tool for infiltration missions.
Really?
Of course. I can't begin to count the number of agents whose lives were saved by a cardboard box.
You mean everyone's using them?
Look, I'm not exaggerating when I say the success of your mission hinges on how you use that cardboard box.
Huh.
But in the end, a cardboard box is only made of paper. Handle it with care or it won't be of much use to you. You know, I've lost a couple thanks to you.
What?
Nothing. Forget it. Treat your cardboard box with care. Take care of the box, and it'll take care of you. Don't think of it as just another box. Treat it with love. Don't be rough, okay?
What a weirdo.
Those thermal goggles provide night vision by creating images from heat distribution. The goggles have a resolution of over 400,000 pixels, and their equivalent noise thermal differential is under 0.05 degrees Celsius. This performance is largely attributed to the use of a two-dimensional solid projection system with outstanding electric charge transfer capability. With these goggles, you can probably see Claymore mines that are rendered invisible with stealth camouflage. If you look around the necks of enemy soldiers, you can probably make out their dog tags. I see you've still got those cigarettes I gave you.
I quit a long time ago.
Maybe now's the time to start again. Just joking, kid. Those things will stunt your growth and ruin your health. But in the battlefield, you'll find there's other uses for those cigarettes besides smoking. I'm sure you'll figure out how to use them when the time comes. You've got rations. Rations are military food provisions capable of life recovery. Select a ration in the menu display and press the confirmation button for life recovery. If you equip yourself with rations, you can automatically recover life the moment it hits 0. Field rations are not just emergency food. For a soldier, it's a vital factor in maintaining combat efficiency. Rations are the result of concentrated research and development efforts on the part of the U.S. military's cooking laboratory. Together with calories, meticulous attention is focused on balanced nutrition. Freeze-dried, the rations are easy to carry and keep well. It ain't home cooking, but it'll satisfy your nutritional needs. What's on your mind?
Well, just between you and me,
Sure. What is it?
I prefer rations over Rose's home cooking.
That bad, huh? You've got an RGB-6, a Croatian-manufactured 40mm 6-round grenade launcher. It's a weapon that was unavailable in VR training. The RGB-6 has a spring-driven revolver-type cylinder for handling 6 grenades. It delivers grenades with greater accuracy than throwing the things, and it's effective for taking out enemies with body armor, not to mention those hiding behind objects. Since a launched grenade travels on a parabolic trajectory, hitting a target depends on your angle of fire. The Stinger is a portable surface-to-air missile launcher. Once you lock onto a target and fire, the missile will automatically pursue the target using its infrared seeker. However, the Stinger you have hasn't been updated to deal with countermeasures. The missile's seeker might be thrown off course by flares. Don't forget that. Raiden, what have you got there?
Nothing.
Ah, come on. Don't play dumb. That kind of thinking might even be helpful on the battlefield.
Yeah, but
Look, aside from its educational value, you can probably use it to distract an enemy. That's a claymore mine. The claymore is a directional mine that can be set up on the ground. It's mainly used for ambush or defense. It can also be used against light vehicles and other soft-skinned targets. This mine goes off when it detects someone approaching from the front. The explosion fans out shrapnel and metal balls to create a fan-shaped destructive zone. An important thing to remember is that the sensor is not selective. The mine will attack friend or foe. What I'm trying to say is, don't trigger your own trap. You can recover a set claymore by crawling up to it carefully. That means you can collect enemy claymores for your own use if necessary. I see you've managed to get a hold of some C4 plastic explosive. Composed of 91% RDX and 9% inert plasticizers, it's a white clay-like material. It's a very stable explosive with over 1.3 times the power of TNT. Immune to heat or shock, C4 will only explode when triggered by a detonator. Since your wireless detonator is equipped with both a scrambler and encryption, you don't have to worry about the C4 being accidentally triggered by other wavelengths such as those emitted by jamming devices. You set the C4 with the weapon button and detonate it with the punch button. One other thing, don't get caught in its blast. That's a tranquilizer gun with a sound suppressor. Hit an enemy with that, and it's good night, sleep tight. The time in which the tranquilizer takes effect depends on where you hit your target. If you want to knock somebody out with a single shot, aim carefully for vital spots like the head or heart. That's an American military M9 modified for tranquilizer bullets. When the tranquilizer bullets hit a target, the round uses the force of the impact to mix the drug, also producing a gas in the process. The pressure of the gas drives a built-in piston that injects the target with a powerful anesthetic. It's like firing a small hypodermic syringe. This M9 is a tranquilizer gun that knocks out the enemy. It doesn't kill them. Looks like you've got an M4. The M4 is an assault carbine favored by the US SOCOM. It's a descendant of the M1 carbine used in World War II. The 4 refers to the fact that it's the 4th carbine to be officially adopted by the American military. Basically, it was developed for the Special Forces using the M16A as a base. The M4 carries 30 rounds of 5.56mm by 45 SS 109s. By the way, carbines are short-barreled rifles originally developed for cavalry use, but as far as you're concerned, You won't need to remember that. You're holding a chaff grenade, an electronic warfare weapon designed to disrupt electronic equipment and jam transmissions. Detonated with a small charge, the grenade releases chaff and a miniature active jammer. The grenade should render electronic equipment useless for a brief period of time. It's important to note that radar and other equipment which you might have on hand will also be affected. So be careful with the thing if you're using electronic devices. A stun grenade, huh? It's a non-lethal weapon designed to daze enemies with a blinding flash of light and an ear-splitting bang. When it goes off, it emits a flash equivalent to 2.5 million candelas and an explosive sound of over 160 decibels. In simpler terms, that's over 120 times the brightness of a police flashlight and the sound of a jet during takeoff. At the same time, it releases about 2,700 degrees Celsius of heat. But that's only at the millisecond level, so don't expect it to ignite anything. The sound emission is also at the millisecond level, so there's no permanent damage to the victim's hearing. Used properly, your enemies will lose consciousness. It's not a lethal weapon. The PSG-1 is an anti-terrorist automated sniper rifle. It features roller-locked action which allows a full, free-floating barrel. The end result is an automatic rifle with precision equal to that of a bolt-action sniper rifle. The rifle has a 5-round group capacity of 50 millimeters at a range of approximately 270 meters. In my opinion, the PSG-1 is one of the finest sniper rifles in the world. Although you've probably fired a few rounds in VR training, there are a few differences in handling the rifle you should be aware of. First, that the PSG-1 is equipped with a special magnification adjustable scope. For precision shooting, it allows you to zoom in on your target, and for wide range viewing, all you have to do is zoom out. Another difference is that you aren't limited to firing from the prone position. In short, you can fire from a crouching or standing position. However, the less stable your position, the tougher it is to hold your aim steady. For accuracy, the best thing to do is crawl up to your target and fire from a prone position. You have the pentazamine equipped, huh? To steady your hands when aiming with a sniper rifle, select pentazamine in the menu display and press the confirmation button. Pentazamine is a benzodiazepine antidepressant used in the treatment of disorders such as depression and autonomic imbalance. In addition to its calming effect, it also relaxes muscular tension and combats convulsions. The result is a steady set of hands. One more thing, pentazamine does not prevent seasickness.
Seasickness? What are you talking about?
I mean, sometimes faith can overcome medical science.
What?
Never mind.
Don't ignore me!
That mine detector that you're equipped with displays the location of Claymore mines that aren't visible to the naked eye. It's not your run-of-the-mill mine detector. It's the latest model to use the technology developed in a private Mew chem lab. It isn't a metal detector. It's based more on the various systems used in chemical detectors. In short, it doesn't respond to a mine's metallic casing. It actually detects the elements used in explosives. Basically, it's similar to the sensor that the old man gave you. The one that responds to the smell of C4. That's why you can accurately detect the location of mines, despite the fact that you're in a metal-based structure. You're using your anti-personnel sensor. It vibrates whenever an enemy is approaching your position. The sensor responds to the electromagnetic field and heartbeat of life forms. The closer an enemy, the bigger the vibration. It's a useful device, but remember that if you're equipped with the sensor, you won't be able to feel any other vibrations around you. It's like life. You gain something only to lose something else. It's up to you to decide where and when you want to use it. Planning to take some pictures? Well, you've got the right camera for the task. With autofocus and zoom features, this camera guarantees clear pictures. It won't wear with use, so take all the shots you want. I see you have the bandage equipped. Whenever you're bleeding, select the bandage in the menu display and press the confirmation button to stop the bleeding. The bandage is an absorption pad made from alginate fiber. As you probably know, when alginate fibers come into contact with blood or liquids, the colloid gels to produce a moist condition for speeding up the healing process. With outstanding absorption properties in terms of speed and capacity, bandages effectively stop bleeding. To throw something, such as a grenade or a magazine, press the weapon button to cock your arm.
When you're on the surface, you can swim in corresponding directions using the up, down, left, and right movement of the left thumbstick. Push the punch.
Colonel, B1 is completely flooded from what I can see.
You'll have to swim through.
I'm fine with swimming.
Stroke the water and move. You have the remote-controlled missile. Good job. Now head for the first floor of the Shell 2 core. Take out the power source and make contact with the President before the launch code can be reconfirmed. Hurry. You have the remote.
Put your thermal goggles on and look at the enemy's neck area. You should be able to see if he has dog tags on.
Snake, it's Stillman. Stillman's here.
Yeah?
He was waiting for me.
Right.
Move the right thumbstick to make high-speed turns. Move it to the left or right to make 90-degree turns in those directions, and down to make a 180-degree spin.
What was that?
You've got yourself a remote-controlled missile. Referred to as Nikita, it's a wireless guided projectile. It's a surveillance missile based on micro-air vehicle technology. You control it by watching the image transmitted from the CCD camera mounted on the missile. Although it's primarily designed for scouting missions, it carries a small explosive charge that allows a long-distance attack. You can also trigger the charge by removing it from equip status following the missile's launch. You won't be able to move while controlling the missile. Also, you'll have to be careful that you don't run out of fuel while it's in flight. Unlike VR training, you won't have a bird's eye view to help you control the missile.
Damn, it's dark. I can't see a thing. The lights are broken.
Try using the night vision or thermal goggles in the dark.
President Johnson,
So you're finally here.
you've been expecting me?
Your equipment, that skull suit isn't exactly standard military issue.
Are you all right, sir?
Is this some kind of sick joke? I thought you came to kill me.
What?
I'm prepared to face the consequences of my betrayal.
What are you... What the...
You're a man? Well, who are you?
Foxhound, sir.
Foxhound? I see. Now things are starting to make a little sense. Switch over to nano-communication so nobody can listen in.
Yes, sir. Do you read me, sir?
Yes.
Mr. President, it's my understanding that the terrorists have managed to input the code sequence necessary for launching a nuclear strike.
That's correct. I punched the sequence in myself.
You're working for them?
If you asked me 2 hours ago, my answer would have been yes. Right now, they're keeping me alive until my vital signs are reconfirmed.
They betrayed you?
I wouldn't quite put it that way. I wanted power. They sought destruction.
But why stoop to terrorism?
I wanted absolute power.
But you're the president. You have power.
No, I'm just a figurehead.
What?
I don't have any control. The real power is in the Patriots' hands.
The Patriots?
The truth behind this country. I'm not surprised you've never heard of them. Very few are aware of their existence, even among those with code word clearance.
Huh?
Politics, the military, the economy, they control it all. They even choose who becomes president. Putting it simply, the Patriots rule this country.
No.
Hard to believe, isn't it? But it's the truth. The space defense, income tax reduction, and national missile defense programs. Every policy that's been credited to me was actually done according to their instructions.
Space defense was initiated by Congress.
That's what the Patriots want the country to believe. It's all a show. Democracy is just a filler for textbooks. Think about it. Do you actually believe that public opinion influences the government?
No.
This country is shaped and controlled as the Patriots see fit. The people are shown what they want to believe. What you call government is actually a well-staged production aimed at satisfying the public.
Huh?
Don't look at me like that. I'm legally sane, you know.
It's not your sanity that worries me.
The Patriots. Even I don't know who the actual members are. Are they financial, political, or military leaders? No one knows who the Patriots really are. Even my instructions come from a cutout. All I've been told is that every key decision is made by a group of 12 men, known as the Wise Men's Committee.
Your office? The White House?
Merely puppets, pawns in a game. By pledging my loyalty, an insignificant son of a senator was awarded the presidency. Of course, that wasn't the only price I had to pay.
What do you mean?
Even if a pawn becomes a queen, it is still just a playing piece. I wanted to leave my own mark in history, but my ambitions were... You'll understand someday. I wished to be a member of the Patriots. I wanted to wield the power of a king instead of being an expendable pawn.
And that justifies acts of terrorism?
Yes. I'd intended to use the new Metal Gear as a bargaining chip.
Bargaining chip?
But I underestimated Solidus. He actually wants to challenge the Patriots, even if it means the destruction of the world.
What are you saying?
Whether you believe it or not, the balance of power rests in the hands of the Patriots. They regulate the country's various interests through controlled presentation, staging a drama that is palatable to the general masses. Can you imagine what would happen if they ceased to function? Picture a massive political vacuum, a space that every powermonger will try to fill for their own greedy ends. I'm talking about an unregulated power struggle, panic, civil war, chaos. Like it or not, the Patriots is an organization that must continue to exist.
So you changed your mind because you wanted to avoid global chaos.
Exactly. When I told Solidus that I wished to prevent disaster, he replied that pawns can never become players.
And who is this Solidus?
My predecessor, George Sears. That was the name the public came to know him by. I knew him by his code name, Solidus Snake. He was the third snake, preceded by Solid and Liquid, a survivor of the Les Enfants Terribles project. Neither solid nor liquid. He was a well-balanced masterpiece, that the Patriots saw it fit to entrust with the presidency. However, he fell out of grace with the organization 4 years ago. When acting on his own, he started an incident.
4 years ago. Shadow Moses.
That's right. At the time, the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, together with certain influential parties, initiated the development of Metal Gear Rex and an advanced nuclear warhead. However, this did not fall in line with the Patriots' plans. What's more, Solidus decided on his own to send his most trusted man, Ocelot, to provoke Liquid Snake, bringing about the said incident. As a result, he succeeded in obtaining Rex and the data on the warhead. But in doing so, he ended up revealing the existence of both Rex and the Genome Army, a blunder that earned him the wrath of the Patriots. Shortly thereafter, Solidus was removed from the presidential office.
I thought he resigned.
That's the story given to the general public. Following his resignation, the Patriots selected me, their new pawn, for the presidency.
But that would mean that the presidential race was...
That was quite a show, wasn't it? It was a well-scripted drama staged by the Patriots for the benefit of the public. Even the Democrats and Republicans were dancing to the Patriots' tune. Everything went according to plan, but for one exception. Following his resignation, Solidus' health was scheduled to fail him, bringing about his untimely death.
Capped?
Correct. But before the Patriots could execute their plot, Solidus went underground with the help of Ocelot. As he avoided pursuit, Solidus gained control of Dead Cell, winning over Colonel Golukovich's outfit. From there, he bided his time, knowing that his opportunity would soon arrive.
What opportunity?
The completion of the new Metal Gear project, an opportunity that would even his odds against the Patriots. By stealing the Patriots' most valued project, he would be able to place them in a very uncomfortable position. It's the only chance he has for survival. Once he has the new Metal Gear, he'll declare war against the Patriots. Needless to say, he must be stopped.
Metal Gear is already operational.
No, not yet. What you saw was Metal Gear Ray, hijacked 2 years ago from the Marines by Ocelot. That was not the new Metal Gear.
Then where's the new Metal Gear?
Right here.
What?
You're standing in it. To be more precise, this entire big shell facility is the new Metal Gear.
What'd you say?
No, I'm quite serious. The upper structure that you've seen is camouflage, designed to represent an offshore cleanup facility. The main structure extends from the foundation all the way down to the ocean floor. The connecting elevator is located on the B2 floor of the Shell 1 core. Arsenal Gear. That's the code name for the new Metal Gear.
Arsenal?
That's right. Arsenal. We're talking about an impregnable fortress carrying a load of over a couple of thousand missiles, including nuclear warheads, all protected by a horde of mass-produced Metal Gear Ray units.
Mass-produced?
The Ray unit was originally designed for the Marines to be used as a countermeasure against the Metal Gear variations throughout the world. The Patriots had Ray redesigned to protect the new Arsenal Gear.
So now anti-Metal Gears are guarding a Metal Gear.
Ironic, isn't it? That's not all. Arsenal Gear has full access to the military's tactical network, giving it the ability to exercise absolute control over our nation's armed forces, not to mention our nuclear armament. In short, Arsenal was created to be the core of our country.
What kind of idiotic weapon?
Weapon? No. You're not seeing the full picture. Arsenal Gear is more than just a military tool. It is a means to preserve the world as it is. It will establish a new form of control. The Patriots will use it to keep their place as the country's true rulers. Right now, they feel pressured and threatened.
By what?
They fear an overabundance of digital information. The world will drown in the coming flood of information, and they along with it. The Arsenal plans include a system to digitally manage the flow of information, making it possible to shape the truth for their own purposes. In short, the Arsenal system is the key to their supremacy.
The key?
Yes, the GW system is the Patriots' trump card. Arsenal gear will be fully operational when GW is successfully integrated. Once operational, it will be a completely new form of power for the Patriots to wield. I had hoped to seize the project from them, so that I would be in a strong bargaining position.
Bargain for what?
I'd hoped to trade my way into their ranks. Solidus preferred rebellion. Outer Heaven, his plan to unleash a nuclear blast over the skies of Wall Street to break the Patriots' control over the business community, is also a key factor in his offensive effort.
Outer Heaven?
Listen, there isn't much time. The football served as the key for activating Arsenal gear. I've already input the necessary code sequence. It won't be long before GW begins to establish connections with other external systems, and Arsenal gear becomes fully operational. Stop them before that happens. That is your role.
Role?
You've got to find Emma Emmerich. She's the only one who can stop that thing once it's been activated.
Emma Emmerich?
She's the system programmer for Arsenal gear. I believe she's somewhere on level B1 in the core of this building.
I thought the levels below us were flooded.
I'm sure they won't let her die just yet, as she's the only remaining programmer for this project. According to Ocelot, she was being held in a locker room located in the northwest part of level B1. Cut transmission and get moving. This is card 4. It'll give you access all the way to Emma's location. Give this to her when you find her.
What is it?
A program for disrupting the control functions between GW and Arsenal gear. Take Emma to the computer room on level B2, Shell 1 core. She'll know how to load the program into the main system.
A virus?
That's right, modeled after Foxdie. A biological weapon designed to selectively eliminate personnel with a specific genetic code.
But why do you have it?
The Patriots had it engineered as a failsafe. And Ocelot forgot to search me. You've got to hurry. That disk is the only way you're going to stop Arsenal. Well, I've told you everything you need to know. There's only one thing that remains to be done.
Huh.
Now, kill me.
What the?
There's no time to argue. The final check for my vital ID will start any second. If you kill me now, you'll at least prevent the nuclear strike.
Cut it out!
Do it! That's your role! Pull! No! Do it!
That's abusing your right to free speech, Mr. President. Or is it ex-president?
The president! Why did you...
Alas, my finger must have slipped. I'll see you around, carrier boy.
Forget him. He did us a favor. Without free will, there is no difference between submission and rebellion. My only real choice is to put an end to this charade. Let me at least have the freedom to end it myself.
What are you...
Find Emma. Stop Arsenal. This is my last order as your commander-in-chief. I'm counting on you.
Colonel, the president is dead.
I see. I'm sorry to hear that.
Where do we go from here?
Your mission was to rescue the president and eliminate the terrorist threat. However, given the recent turn of events, we will honor the president's last directive. You must put a stop to Arsenal gear once and for all.
Do you actually think there's any truth to his story about this big shell facility being a front for Arsenal gear?
I don't have the security clearance necessary to verify the facts. However, he was the president. I'm sure he knew what he was talking about.
Aren't you forgetting that he was part of the terrorist plot?
All the more reason why I believe his information is reliable.
Huh?
We're talking about a man who chose to die rather than risk a nuclear holocaust. Thanks to his sacrifice, the Nuclear Launch Authority has shifted to the vice president, effectively eliminating the terrorist threat.
Colonel, when you put it like that, it almost sounds like I should have assassinated the president to eliminate the threat.
That was not my intention. I was trying to point out that there is certainly some credibility to the words of a man who chose death to protect the innocent.
The Colonel has a point, Jack.
What about the information he gave me on the Patriots?
That's a new one on me. I'll see what I can find out. Raiden, we're running out of time. Find Emma. She's supposed to be located on level B1, in the core of that building you're in, right? You've got to find her before Arsenal becomes fully operational.
Hurry, Jack.
It's up to you to make sure that the president didn't sacrifice his life in vain.
Understood. Raiden out.
What's your status, Raiden?
Snake, the president, he's been assassinated.
What?
There was nothing I could do.
What about the nuclear strike code sequence?
He died before his vital ID could be reconfirmed.
Then the enemy's lost their nuclear strike capability.
But that Ocelot guy obviously killed the president on purpose.
Why?
It doesn't make any sense. They had to know that they couldn't launch the nuke if they killed the president.
Maybe there's a way to launch without reconfirming the vital ID.
Or maybe they found a more effective weapon within Arsenal gear.
You knew about Arsenal gear?
Yeah,
Why didn't you tell me about it?
you never asked.
Am I correct in assuming you also know that the big shell's a front for the project?
You mean, did I know that the Big Shell, a fully functional environmental cleanup facility, was designed to camouflage Arsenal gear? Yeah, I did. It's exactly what the President and Ames described, a massive cover story. The good news is that it hasn't really done much in terms of cleaning up the environment, so we won't have to worry about any toxic gas being released if we have to blow the house down.
Right. And when did you find out about all of this?
It took a while, but we uncovered the info around the time you took out that mad bomber. There's no doubt that Arsenal gear is being built here. Then it was all set up 2 years ago, on that day. All of it.
2 years ago. What really happened here?
I took these photos 2 years ago.
I know these pictures. They were on the news, on several websites. If I remember right, the reporters blamed you for sinking the tanker.
That's right. Otacon, me, we were used.
We'd hoped that by going public with photos of the new Metal Gear, we could persuade the government. At least that was the plan at the time.
2 years ago, the Hudson River, we had learned that a new Metal Gear model was being secretly transported. When I think about it now, we should have known better than to trust the information. I'd infiltrated the dummy tanker to obtain proof that a Metal Gear was under development. Shortly after I made it aboard, an armed group led by Colonel Gerlukovich raided the ship and gained control.
Olga and Ocelot were among the raiding party.
Yeah, and him.
Who are you talking about?
A man that was supposed to be dead.
Their target was also Metal Gear Ray. But Ocelot eliminated Colonel Gerlukovich and Marine Commander Scott Dolph, and he hijacked Ray.
So he betrayed them?
I don't know what kind of deal was going down. All I remember is what Ocelot said at the time. Something like, "I'm taking it back."
Ocelot then sank the tanker, along with the soldiers of the Marine Corps.
How did you manage to get out?
Otacon managed to have a small boat ready for me.
That was the easy part. The tough part was not getting dragged down with a sinking tanker. Small miracle when you think about it. It turned out that the whole thing was a setup to lure us. Photos of Snake, taken by the Cypher, were released to the public. In turn, we became the world's most wanted environmental terrorists.
It was definitely a move aimed at putting a stop to our anti-Metal Gear activities.
But why did they choose Snake?
Since the Shadow Moses incident, Snake became sort of a hero. I think the Patriots weren't too happy about that.
You knew about the Patriots?
Well, yes, to a certain degree.
It seems like everyone knows about them except me.
They didn't choose Snake to be a hero.
So they decided to do a smear campaign.
I think the Patriots wanted to make an example of him so everybody would think twice before opposing them.
That's it! They set all this up just to nail you guys.
No, there's more to it than that. The Marines' Metal Gear Ray project, headed by Commander Dolph, was carried out in opposition to the Navy's Arsenal Gear project. To be more precise, the Patriots considered Metal Gear Ray to be a thorn in their side. Hence, they attacked the dummy tanker and stole Ray. They followed this up with a perfect plan. They immediately sent a fully loaded tanker to the same location and sank it, then set up the facility to camouflage the development of Arsenal Gear.
And we fell for it. 2 more puppets in their show.
Colonel Gerlukovich and his daughter Olga?
Both fell victim to Ocelot's plot.
Was Solidus behind all this? He used Ocelot to get hold of Ray, huh?
No, he was underground, keeping a low profile at the time.
Then it must be the Patriots.
If that's the case, what's Ocelot doing alongside Solidus?
Forget it. We're wasting time. We can figure this out later. The nuclear strike's been prevented, but Arsenal still has a massive payload of missiles to deal with.
Right. If the opposition gets control of those missiles...
Raiden, you've got to find Emma.
Wait a second. Isn't Emma Emmerich?
My sister.
What's she doing here?
You got me. She's a computer whiz who specializes in neural AI and ultra-variable volume data analysis using complex logic. How she got involved in weapons development is beyond me.
Whatever her reasons, we need her in order to stop Arsenal.
Raiden, find her.
I'm on my way.
Raiden, locate Emma Emmerich and have her put the President's disc to use. Emma is on B1 of the Shell 2 core. The clock is ticking. Locate her before Arsenal Gear goes online.
Jack, is that you? Jack,
What is it?
I've always been alone.
Huh?
I'm so lonely.
What a
weirdo. Rose, we've always...
Not always.
What do you mean?
You've never slept beside me.
What are you talking about?
After we've been together in my room, you stay awake all night, or you head for the door.
Is this really the time to bring this up?
Why, Jack? Why?
Listen, Rose, I'm right in the middle of a mission and
Why? Why can't you relax when you're with me?
Look, the mission,
Why don't you open up to me?
Rose, I just can't.
All I ever wanted was to share your dreams, to spend a meaningful evening with you. I just wanted to find you by my side when I woke up. Is that asking too much?
It's the night. I'm scared of the night. It's got nothing to do with you.
Scared of the night? What's that supposed to mean?
I can't relax when I'm with someone.
Jack, you wouldn't even let me in your room.
I need privacy. I just can't be bothered.
Bothered?
Wrong word. What I wanted to say was that there are certain things that I have to keep to myself.
Do you remember that time I forced my way into your room? We'd known each other for almost a year, and you blew up. It was the first time you ever raised your hand against me. I was so worried about you.
Look, I'm sorry.
It wasn't your violent nature that scared me. It was your room, your heart.
Stop it.
There wasn't anything in your room. Only a bed and a small desk. It looked like a prison cell.
Rose?
No television set. No family pictures. Not even a poster.
Rose, I only use that room for sleeping.
A lifeless room. Almost like your empty heart.
That's why I tried to keep you out.
I thought I was beginning to understand you. Until I saw that room.
Would you have been happier if I had a picture of you hanging on the wall?
That's not what I was trying to say.
Enough, Rose. We'll talk about this later. After the mission.
Right. After the mission. I understand.
You're beginning to get on my nerves.
Raiden, are you reading me? This is Otacon. What's your situation?
Wet and miserable. This place is flooded. The seawater that's been pumped up is pouring into the building.
I see. Listen, there's something I have to tell you about EE.
Don't worry about her. I'll get her out.
She's afraid of water.
What?
Yeah. When she was 6 years old, she almost drowned with my father in our swimming pool.
She can't swim?
Well, yes and no. We used to swim a lot together when we were kids. In fact, she swam like a fish until that day when she almost drowned. When the accident happened, I was in my room. I learned later that EE was calling me for help. She didn't doubt for a minute that I'd be there. You could see the pool from my room, but I didn't realize at the time that she needed my help.
What were you doing?
I was...
So Emma survived the ordeal.
Yeah, but my father didn't.
So you blamed yourself and left your family?
No. EE seems to believe that was the case. The fact is, I betrayed her.
And you think she can't swim because of the traumatic experience?
I haven't seen her since that day, but yes, I think so. I got a letter from Julie, her mother, after they moved back to England. In her letter, she mentioned that EE couldn't swim anymore, that she refused to even wear a bathing suit.
Damn, if she still can't swim, we're in trouble. Level B1 in the core is pretty much flooded.
Look, maybe you can help her overcome the trauma.
You want me to help her get over it?
Well, it's still gonna take some time to repair the Kamov.
Sorry, kid. Emma's rescue is up to you.
Thanks. An underwater mission. Well, this is a first. Look, I'll see what I can do.
I suggest that you drum the map of the building into your head, because you won't have time to look at it when you try to bring Emma out.
I'm counting on you, Raiden.
I covered most of the core when I had to take out the C4s. If there's anything you need to ask me, call me on the codec.
I'll do that. Colonel, I want some background information on Emma Emmerich.
I've got it right here, direct from the National Security Agency's personnel files. Apparently, she was involved in some sort of high-level project, but there's no details on that. Her record shows that she resigned from the agency 2 years ago. Emma Emmerich, full name Emma Emmerich Danziger. Members of her family call her EE. After divorcing Hal Emmerich's father, her mother took Emma to England and raised her there. Danziger is her mother's maiden name, but she prefers Emmerich. After returning home to England, her mother married Robinson, a businessman. The following details are from a report filed with the NSA when she joined the agency. Just before graduating from high school, Emma injured Robinson in self-defense, during an alleged assault on her person. As a result of this incident, she followed in the footsteps of her stepbrother, Hal Emmerich, and left home to enroll in Oxford. It is believed that at this particular point in her life, she was extremely angered by the fact that her brother failed to protect her. Consequently, she lost all family connections and is very resentful. She seems to believe that her brother is to blame for everything. While attending Oxford, she was noted for her success in a deciphering event sponsored by British GCHQ.
They may not be blood related, but she sure sounds like Otacon's sister.
There's more. Raiden, do you recall a certain situation that's more or less become a legend among hackers? To refresh your memory, at the time, just about all of our nation's communications and information resources were concentrated at NSA in Fort Meade. In fact, NSA's basement facility operated round the clock to amass data obtained not only from public communications, but everything from satellite to wiretap operations as well. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that whoever controlled the NSA facility could move the world. On January 24th, in the year 2000, the facility suffered a total system shutdown for a 73-hour period.
Did they ever figure out the cause?
It's believed that a small group within the government had arranged the incident with the assistance of a notorious group of crackers. The result was a full review of NSA's safety measures, which in turn led to the decision to shift the data-gathering operations to an isolated location that would be safe from physical attack, as well as cyber terrorism.
And where might that be?
My security clearance couldn't get me that information, but I did find out that one of the key members of the hacker group was none other than Emma Emmerich. Although she started off as a specialist in artificial intelligence and complex logic, Emma is now regarded as a computer genius.
That would make her a prime candidate for recruitment in the intelligence community, wouldn't it? And knowing most of the intelligence agencies, I doubt fair play was a major concern in their recruiting efforts.
Your assumption's correct. The government played on her weakness, her strong hate for Hal Emmerich, the brother who left her when she was 6 years old.
She hates him that much?
When she was 6 years old, Emma and her father were involved in a pool accident. She survived, but her father drowned.
What did the police have to say about that?
The report states it was an accidental death.
Isn't that about the time that Otacon left his home and family?
Exactly. But I don't have any idea why he chose to do so.
Does Emma blame Otacon for her father's death?
I don't think so. Her hate seems to stem from the fact that she believes Otacon abandoned her. You see, although the two weren't directly related, they were said to be very close. It's rumored that sibling rivalry was what launched her career as a hacker. 4 years ago, the government leaked her the details of the Shadow Moses incident. In doing so, they were able to recruit her for the NSA. I also have little doubt that they also used the NSA hacking affair as a means to convince her to cooperate.
You think that her hate drove her to frame Snake and Otacon?
That, I don't know.
Emma's probably being kept in filter chamber number 2 on floor B1 of Shell 2's core. Go around from the south and you should be able to reach her. Start out by swimming south.
Still ticking, huh?
Unfortunately, hell had no vacancies. I thought so. Human muscles are quite eloquent. They speak out clearly what a person's next move will be. They even tell me which way a gun is going to be pointed before the trigger is pulled. But your muscles, they're different. This should be fun. Well worth the wait.
You knew I was coming?
You've become a nuisance. I can't let you interfere with arsenal gear. The girl is just ahead. She is of no use to us now. But she served us well as the live bait for the big catch. Crazy Ivan sometimes speaks the truth.
Emma's alive?
She was some time ago. But the flooding has become quite serious. I wouldn't be surprised if she's a mermaid now.
What?
Did you really think killing the president would prevent a nuclear strike? Think again.
I didn't do it.
Arsenal is still armed with a purified hydrogen bomb.
Purified hydrogen bomb?
This is no ordinary nuclear bomb. This weapon is capable of heavy hydrogen nuclear fusion using lasers and magnetics to generate heat-insulated compression. It was a top-secret project initiated by the current president, and Solidus has no idea of its existence. The clean thermonuclear bomb is at an experimental stage and is handled differently. Specifically, it becomes launch-capable when Arsenal is activated. A nuclear threat still exists. 6 months ago, we lost everything we believed in. We were abandoned to take the fall in their cover-up. We were labeled as killers, responsible for the mass murder of civilians as well as our own allies. And the public believed every word, turning a deaf ear to whatever we had to say to the contrary. Our only goal is to wipe them from the face of the earth and destroy this world of deceit they have created along with them.
You're insane.
Insane? We might be the only ones telling the truth.
Final check for activating Arsenal has been completed. All Arsenal personnel report to your stations.
Well, it sounds like Arsenal's ready to go into operation.
Damn it!
You're still hoping that the girl can install that virus you're carrying around, aren't you?
You know?
It's a shame you're not going to be around long enough to hand her the program. That isn't seawater, you know. It's a byproduct of the microbes contained in the pool. Buoyancy is practically non-existent thanks to the high oxygen content. Once you fall in, you don't come up. Take a good look at your grave. Show me what you've got.
Vamp seems to be anticipating the trajectory of your shots from the minute movements of your muscles. There's no such thing as a perfect system, though. There must be a way to throw him off and land a shot.
It looks like he's anticipating the incoming bullet's trajectory from the movement of your muscles. Relax, though. He doesn't have you all figured out. Right, don't use the target locking function. Vamp will anticipate your trajectory if you do, and you'll never manage to land a shot.
Yeah.
You can't move once his knife nails your shadow.
Shadow binding? Are we talking about some kind of ninjutsu?
I don't think so. It's probably some form of hypnotism.
Hypnotism?
I'm guessing it's the power of suggestion, augmented by his speech and movements, coupled with the manipulation of the light reflecting off the blade of his knife.
What should I do?
I can't think of any way to break his spell on such a short notice. The easiest thing to do is to make sure his knife doesn't hit your shadow.
Raiden, if his knife nails your shadow, you won't be able to move for a while. If this happens, your only option is to rapidly press a button and move the left thumbstick around to free yourself from his spell.
My body! I can't move.
Take this. Yeah, take this.
My body!
Yeah.
My body!
Yeah. Yeah.
No, this isn't happening. Jack, you have to answer me. Jack! Jack!
Colonel, they've apparently completed the final check procedure for arsenal gear.
Find Emma on the double. You've got to get her to install the virus program that the President gave you. When you find her, take her to the computer room on level B2 in the core of Shell 1.
Snake, did you catch all that? I didn't make it on time. Arsenal's going active.
Yeah, I heard. The hostage rescue's gonna have to wait.
I'm going after Emma.
We'll secure the computer room. Looks like we can't install the virus program without Emma.
Can't your partner do it?
I would if I could, but the security for this system is no joke. I need more time.
That's why we need her.
Understood. I'll make sure you have your family reunion. What's up?
A lot of years have passed between EE and me.
Then you should see her, right?
I don't have the right to see her.
We can talk about this later. Raiden, I think you'd better get moving. Emma's in the locker room to the north, right?
I'm on it.
Raiden, go and find Emma. She should be in the locker room to the north of your area.
You could ask Snake for more details if you need them. Jack, is that you? Jack, about trying to break into your room.
Rose, just forget about it.
No, listen to me. I said I did it because I was worried about you, but it wasn't just that.
What?
I was suspicious. I thought there might be someone else.
Someone else?
Another woman.
Rose.
I really thought so, because sometimes you're so horribly cold.
You know I wouldn't.
I'm serious. Sometimes I feel like you're pushing me away. So I...
Did you get in?
Yeah.
Are you satisfied now? There wasn't anyone there, was there?
No. No, there was no one there. There was absolutely no one in your room. Not another woman, not me, not even you.
Rose.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to apologize, that's all. Talk to you later.